Meet Colin. Kicked out by his father for being useless, he now roams the lands in a quest to become badass. Colin was born with a rare genetic mutation, causing him to have a 0 in all skills, and his only trait is that he has no traits. But what his father doesn't know is that Colin has far more potential than any other person in the land of Rimworld. While he doesn't have any skill points, and he has a lame name like Colin, he does have full passion in every skill. He's basically an anime protagonist. He's terrible at the start, but you keep watching because you know he's gonna be a badass. He starts off immediately by planting some potatoes in the nearby fertile soil. Since Colin has no hunting skills, these potatoes are gonna be his saving grace. By nightfall of day 1, almost all the potatoes are planted and Colin passes out in the grass. The next morning, Colin satisfies his hunger with the local berries. Juicy. With the potatoes planted, his stomach full, Colin gets to work cutting some trees extremely slowly, so he can start work on a shelter for him to live in. He finds an abandoned building on the beach and builds a bed inside, and gains his first construction level. Well done, Colin. The next day, Colin begins work converting the abandoned building into a proper home to shelter him from the elements. With a proper shelter erected, Colin feels a little safer and rewards himself with a game of horseshoes. With no stable source of food, Colin is still required to feed himself with berries. How pathetic. He builds some traps by the back door to protect himself from any threats. With a mining skill of 0, Colin doesn't have time to mine for steel and instead deconstructs some abandoned buildings. Sick of eating without a table, he builds one as well as a stool because he doesn't have the construction level to build a chair. Making a few wooden clubs is the easiest way to get his crafting up to level 2 so he can make a short bow and start training his shooting. The first raid arrives. Dead Sailor. He has a cool name, but he's no match for Colin's wooden traps. Colin awakes at the sound of the man screaming in agony outside his home. He strips the dying man of his clothes and puts them on right in front of him. He then has an evil idea. He brings him inside and uses him to gain a couple medical levels, then proceeds to execute him. Then takes the man's drugs and smokes them, watching the ocean. Damn, Colin, you're a savage. But Colin isn't a complete savage. He decides to give Dead Sailor a proper burial, right by the ocean, like he would have wanted. Very soon after, Crucius Hunter arrives. They seem to be sending people with cool names, just to rub it in Colin's face. He may have a cool name, but he's not very smart, and attacks a large group loitering outside Colin's house. More medical XP for Colin. Colin reaches 5 construction. The potatoes have finally grown, and Colin harvests them immediately. A wild woman appears, probably after my potatoes. We use our scavenged metal to make our first power source. Still unsuccessful at taming an alpaca, but are now level 2 animals, so getting there. So a policeman named Tim wants to join, and claims to be Colin's son, even though Colin is about 20, so not sure how that works out. Clearly an imposter, Colin sends him packing, although this still saddens him a bit, as he'd always wanted a son, specifically named Tim. And yes, he could have a son himself and just name it Tim, but that wouldn't be the same. So it's the middle of the night, and little Colin is snoozing away, and suddenly the wild woman appears and enters his home. And wait, are those my potatoes? The audacity to take my potatoes and come eat them in my house. Colin is furious, and quite frankly so am I. Unfortunately, she would kick Colin's ass right now, but just you wait. Colin, don't forget, and you will regret. Oh no, you just stay there, chill in my house and eat my food while I go and slave away in the fields. Haha, she's all bloody because you walked into a trap. Karma is sweet. That's what you get for eating my potatoes, you feral woman. Colin is soothed to sleep by the soft sounds of the wild woman taking her last potato-stealing breaths. It's a good night. We bury her because even potato thieves deserve a proper burial in the eyes of Colin the Wise. And suddenly, Colin collapses from an extreme case of heat stroke. Hopefully he can make it through the night. All we can do is pray. It's the next day, and Colin still can't get up. It's not looking good, guys. And then, like a miracle, Colin recovers enough so that he can rise to his feet once more. Nutrient paste dispenser built, and no more food poisoning. Ah, nothing like coming home after a long day at the office to no wife and a cold nutrient paste meal in the dark. Amazing. Also, nothing like staring at a wall for a long time. It's about time you clean some of this mess, Colin. It's getting a bit out of hand. Managed to harvest some ambrosia, which we can sell for some alright money. Level 2 crafting, and so Colin can now craft a bow. Very nice. Now we have a way to train our shooting. We build an extension to the house for more storage space. Then we're interrupted by another raider, who takes out my horseshoe pin. Thanks for that. The graveyard is growing. Then a miracle. Colin manages to tame his first alpaca. Hallelujah. Will he get the back-to-back? No way! Colin is in shock. He didn't expect that. 2 alpacas join the gang, and they have enough nutrition growth in their pen so we don't even have to worry about feeding them. Colin has much higher construction now, so he can build a real chair for himself eventually. And there you go, a chair of normal quality. A desperate refugee asked to stay with Colin for a while, and in return he will work. Colin, being a timid man, wouldn't normally accept such a proposition, but looking around at how much work needed to be done, he goes for it. So looking at his stats, he has a whopping 16 in animals and a decent social and intelligence, so will be a big help to Colin. Hey Colin. Oh hey. Just wanted to say thanks for letting me stay here a while. Oh, no worries. I could use the help. What sort of thing you wanted me to do? Oh, just like hauling and cleaning. I notice you know your way around an alpaca. Maybe help me get some more. Yeah, I guess I could do that. I'll definitely do that. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Colin sells his ambrosia and uses the money to buy a parka and a recurve bow. The refugee tames us another alpaca. Then another one. Then another one. Giving us 5 alpacas now, and we still don't have to feed them yet. Colin sleeps peacefully to the ASMR of free labour. Suddenly, a fire breaks out right next to Colin as he sleeps, but the refugee runs over and saves Colin's life. What a good guy. Definitely not foreshadowing at all. We better prepare for this raider. He'll be coming soon, says Colin. Oh yeah, I'm prepared alright. Okay, good. Yeehaw, this that weak guy I was telling you about. Come help me mess him up. You're betraying me? I never saw this coming. For real? But I said so many suspicious things. I sheltered you and fed you, and this is how you return the favor? You know what? What? We're no longer friends. You really are stupid. He's burning the place down. Quick, shoot him. You missed. Okay, no, bad idea, Colin. Run. Oh no, run. Run to the hills, Colin. It's the only safe place. Okay, he's lost interest. He's going back towards the house to carry on destroying it. His friend is coming to join the destruction. Traitorous refugee bleeds out on the ground while his friend just ignores him and carries on destroying my house. Okay, satisfied with the destruction of my house, the pigman is coming after Colin. Run, Colin. Your only option is to run. Like a miracle, a woman appears. We can maybe use her. Colin hides behind a woman, like the absolute alpha that he is. Yes, go and fight him. Fight him in my honor. Yes, she's doing it. Kill him. Come on, Colin, go do something. At least take some shots. Oh, don't worry. She did it. The hero. Will Colin be able to recover from this massive setback? Or will he run out of berries and starve? Find out in the next episode of The Colin Adventures.